the dance king. I'm 15. I get a job setting pins at Stony Creek Bowling Alley. I work league nights and Saturdays and get 11 cents a game, 22 when I set double lanes. I ride to work on the back of my friend Donnie's 48 Harley. On paydays, we chip in and give a couple bucks to an old wino who works with us to buy wine. He gets a gallon for himself and a gallon of apple wine for us. We get drunk before every dance we go to on Friday nights. I gotta say something here. Some years later, I was doing the same thing in Rochester, New York. Only the first wino we tried went off with our money. It was the Y dances on Saturday nights. I'm a really good fast dancer, or what we call jitterbugging. I enter dance contests all over Delaware County and never lose. When you go to a dance contest outside your own neighborhood and win the contest, you get beat up by the locals for winning, unless you bring along protection. I always bring along guys from my neighborhood. I fill them up with apple wine, and while everyone's standing in a circle watching the contest dances, my guys go through the girls' purses left on the metal folding chairs along the wall and take their money. That's their vig for covering my ass. Hey, that's the life of bad boys now. Easy riders. Sam, the owner of the Cedarwood Pharmacy, owns an old gray junker he uses to deliver prescriptions. It's a 48 Plymouth Coupe, a salesman's model with a very large trunk and no back seat. The bench front seat can fit 3 comfortably. Sam leaves it parked in front of the pharmacy at night. He never bothers locking the car because he can't imagine anyone would steal this junker. Sam's old Plymouth has a 3-post ignition. At 14, my sister's boyfriend, Johnny Boy, taught me how to short the 3-post ignitions with silver foil from a cigarette pack. You just jam the silver foil in tight, making sure it's touching all 3 ignition posts. That done, you hit the starter button, it kicks over, and you're off like a cheap prom dress. When Louie, Jack, and I get bored at night, we swing by the pharmacy and hotwire the Plymouth. We drive up to McDade Boulevard, cruise down to Norwood, and check out the chicks. Once in a while, we throw a buck's worth of cheap Safeway gas in, just so we don't feel too guilty about borrowing the car. Sam never seems to notice. We're never stopped or caught by the police. The wedding crashers. My best friend Louie and I spend the springs and early summers of 1956 and 57 crashing wedding receptions on weekends. Most receptions are held in church basements and firehouse halls. Every weekend around 8:30 p.m. we dress up in suits and ties and drive around Delaware County checking churches and firehouses for receptions. When we find one that looks good and there's a crowd out front smoking, we park, light up a cigarette, and casually saunter over to mingle in the crowd. While talking, we slowly work our way through the crowd, and when we finish our cigarettes, we casually walk inside the reception hall, talking and laughing as though we'd been here all along. The party's usually been going on for a few hours when we arrive, so everyone's pretty relaxed and having a good time. Italian roast beef sandwiches are very popular at receptions. So we grab a plate and a few sandwiches. We then head over to the bar for a Rolling Rock nip. That's pretty much the standard beer for receptions around here. No one gets carded at a wedding, so we grab our beers and head for a couple of empty seats. Reception halls usually have the bride and groom's families on separate sides of the room. We determine which family's side we're sitting on. If anyone asks who we are, we tell them our first names and say, we're with the other family and couldn't find a chair there. We ask if they mind if we finish our food. They're always very accommodating and friendly. After eating and having a few beers, Louie and I go out for a smoke, and when we return, we scout around for some good-looking chicks. We dance a few numbers with several different girls and use the same line if they ask which family we're with. Sometimes we even get lucky and get a phone number. We always leave before the cake cutting ceremony, going out front for a smoke and sauntering our way back down to our car. We never get stopped or seriously questioned at any of the many receptions we crash over 2 years. We're that cool. Thank you, Phillip.